You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Greetings, Earthlings. You're listening to the Pro Wrestling Mothership Network.
Hey everybody, this is Ugly.
This is the Juice Box Hero, Tyler Jones.
This is Almighty Christopher Daniel.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Iron Mike Johnson with Impact Pro Wrestling.
This is Jermaine Johnson.
This is the world's greatest pop icon, Donnie Pepper Cricket, sometimes known as the Dundee Strangler, Brandon Juarez.
This is Caprice Cole.
I'm Wes Risk.
Hey, this is WWE Artist in Residence, Rob Schamberg.
Hey guys, this is Savannah Stone.
Hey everybody, this is Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor.
Hey babe, Cousin Gator, dang old, bang bang.
Hey, this is Miss Frankie J.
Yeah, this is the Pretty Boy Pitbull Kenny King.
Hey there, this is the one, the only, the astonishingly above the rest front man of professional wrestling, Jossie.
You are listening to the sultry sounds of Chainsaw King.
Hey guys, this is James Jeffries.
Hey everybody, you know me. My name is Eugene. I'm Nick Dinsmore, and you're listening to Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Shotgun Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Zach Takes, joined as always by the Zigman. Zigman, how was your 4th of July?
It was good. Went to a bull riding, shot off a lot of fireworks, hung around with some family and friends. So, yeah, it was a good time, man. Definitely. Yours?
It was good, man. It was very relaxing. Had a nice 4 days off. It was very, very relaxing. So happy to get back here in the grind. And we are joined tonight to continue our Hall of Fame coverage for the Dan Gable Wrestling Museum Hall of Fame weekend coming up July 25th, 26th, 27th in Waterloo, Iowa. We are being joined by none other than the one and the only, the legend himself, James Jeffries. James, welcome to the show, man. We are excited to have you back on.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me. I wouldn't say I'm a legend by any means, but I really appreciate the intro. Very, very cool. So it's always good to be on your guys' show. It's a huge honor for me. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to catch up with you. It's been a while since we've talked to you. It's been a while since we had you on. How's things going? You're getting ready to hit into your busy time of the year for Impact Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's been going real good. You know, I've been doing a lot of workouts with the students over at the Impact Pro Wrestling Academy lately. We got a good class currently, so I've been spending a lot of my time working with the future stars of Impact Pro Wrestling. So, and then, like you said, getting fired up for the next 2 weeks of wrestling. So it's a exciting time of year for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a long time. So.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We are completely excited as always for this event. It's one of the best events of the summer for us, and we, like I said, we all look forward to it every year. But I did want to kind of talk to you, as you mentioned, you're doing the training sessions right now. You had one class I believe you already had one training class earlier this year. How did that first training session go? Because I know that was the first time for you being the new head trainer for Impact Pro Wrestling.
Oh, it was very good. The first class I had, two of the students, Gable Galileo and the Golden Boy Bryce Jordan were students in that class. So they've been wrestling on almost every Impact Pro Wrestling show since they graduated. So it's been a lot of fun, a huge learning process for me, and it's been a lot of fun. I hope the guys enjoy it. I know it's something I really enjoy, and currently I got 4 current students going through now that just started with me in June. So pretty fun times.
Very cool, very cool. Now you, for this upcoming weekend here at the Hall of Fame, you're involved in a pretty big angle and a pretty big matchup for the night. But before we get to that, you've been a part of the Hall of Fame weekend for as far back as I can remember. What for you is your favorite part of this weekend?
My favorite part of the weekend for me is, my favorite is the Hall of Fame inductions. It's really cool to see guys that have worked so hard and wrestled so hard and done a lot of really cool things. It's great to hear their stories of where they came from and what they've been doing. And I mean, it's great to see them get honored. So the induction banquet is probably my favorite. I really enjoy everything at the museum as far as the autograph signings, and different events, some of the discussions that are had there, the open mic discussions. So it's cool to hear, like last year hearing the Bruiser Brody, panel of like Stan Hansen and Barbara Goodish and Herb. It was cool to listen to that. So, I mean, I guess there's a lot of different things that I really enjoy, but I would say the induction banquet is my favorite.
Absolutely, and if you guys haven't been to the induction banquet, I highly recommend it. This year we have good old Jim Ross back in the saddle hosting the event. Last year we had Adam Pierce host the event, who did a fantastic job last year, I felt. And the event is such a great, it's a great thing because one of the fun things for me is you never really know who you're going to sit by. I mean, a couple of years ago, Zach and I sat next to Sabu at the banquet, and like I said, you just never know who you're going to sit next to, and the food there is always fantastic too. I mean, you can't go wrong with the food they always serve either.
Yeah, for sure. They do a real nice job. There's a lot of people on the committee and different people that help with that event, and they go above and beyond to put that on. And it's a really fun weekend. So if you've never made it out, I mean, it's a great year to check it out, I feel.
Now Zach, I was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, if you've never, like as James said, if you've never been, definitely check it out. You can still get all access passes, I believe, at 319-223-0745 at the museum. Or if you just want to go to the banquet or to the wrestling show or to the afternoon show, the Hall of Fame Classic, you can get single tickets to those. They're also available at the museum. So definitely check out Impact Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Check out the Dan Gable Wrestling Museum online. Or, like I said, give them a call at 233-0745 to get tickets and more info on the whole Hall of Fame weekend. Go ahead, Zach.
James, before we get too much more into your Hall of Fame matchup that you have come up, which is a huge matchup and one of the marquee matchups, as I would say, for the Hall of Fame, let's take a look ahead to this coming Tuesday night in Des Moines, Iowa. Impact Pro Wrestling is putting on, they've done this the last couple of years, where they are doing a Hall of Fame qualifier, and there's basically going to be 8 men. It's an 8-man tournament. The winner will get their shot to be in the Hall of Fame Classic there that happens on the Friday night of the Impact Pro Wrestling show. Now, you've already secured your slot in this tournament, and I'm going to read off some of the other names here. I know which you're familiar with, but for everybody listening at home, we have the Big Picture, Gable Ford, Jimmy Wild, AJ Smooth, Tyler Jones, Matty Starr, and Clay Cooper are all the ones that are involved in the 8-man tournament. Now, what are your thoughts heading into this tournament? You were obviously the IPW representative. I believe it was last year that you were in there. And what's your thoughts heading into it again here this year?
Yes, I was the representative last year. And it was an honor to wrestle Austin Aries in the first round of the Hall of Fame Classic last year. I came up short. He's a super talented wrestler and very tough. But thoughts on the tournament this year? You just listed a bunch of names that, a lot of them are young and hungry, and there's a lot of veteran guys like the Big Picture and Matty Starr, AJ Smooth. I mean, it's a stacked tournament top to bottom. So I'm looking forward. I want to go back and participate in the Hall of Fame Classic this year. So I'm definitely going to give it my all, and I would love to go back and be involved in that tournament because there's a lot of very talented wrestlers that are already in the Hall of Fame Classic. So I'm very, very excited about it.
Now, if you are to have to come out victorious on Tuesday night here and you would be entered into the tournament, who would be the one person that you would want to face off with?
Oh, I'd love to wrestle Flying Brian Jr.
How excited, I know you're a huge old school wrestling fan, and how excited are you that Flying Brian is part of the festivities this year?
I'm super excited that he's part of the festivities. You know, I'm a big fan of his, and he's really coming up, and I noticed that he's really been working hard and wrestling a lot of places. So it's just really cool to see him carrying on his dad's name. And he, you know, if you haven't seen Flying Brian Pillman Jr. wrestle, then definitely look him up on YouTube. You know, he's a very talented athlete, and I was a huge fan of his dad as well. So he would be my pick to go on one-on-one against because he's a fantastic athlete.
Now, if you do qualify in Des Moines and get in the tournament again and get the opportunity like last year in your amazing match with Austin Aries, is there a different kind of training you got to do to have multiple matches like that? Because you would still have your big match on the main show as well, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the compliment on the Austin Aries match. I really appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely. My understanding is you'd wrestle Hall of Fame Classic and wrestle in the the retirement match with Brian Blair. You know, it'd be really awesome to take on any and all competitors. So as far as the training goes, you know, I've been working really hard, you know, running, working out in the gym. Just, you know, you want to keep the stamina and keep your endurance up so that you can wrestle multiple times, you know, especially in that Hall of Fame Classic. If you get through the first round, which it's very tough to get through the first round, you got to wrestle again, you know. And if you get through the next round, you got to wrestle again. And then, like you said, you mentioned the match with Brian Blair. I mean, that's a lot of matches. And the Hall of Fame Classic is stacked, and wrestling B. Brian Blair is no joke either. I mean, he's a talented wrestler too. So, I mean, it's an uphill battle, and I think you just have to, every day you have to be in working and putting your time in, working out, running, hitting the gym. You just got to prepare yourself as best you can.
For sure. Now, we talked a little bit about Brian Pillman Jr., Flying Brian Pillman Jr. The other participants already in the Hall of Fame Classic, which starts, I believe, at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon after the Italian violation portion of the morning. To be Brian Pillman Jr., Kurt the Lone Star Stallion, Wes Briscoe, Airwolf, the IPW representative, Kobe Durst, Jake Durden, a former IPW heavyweight champion, and Nick Eugene Densmore. So quite the field for this year's Hall of Fame Classic. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite things they added a few years ago to the weekend. The weekend just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and Troy and the rest of the team just do an amazing job to put this whole weekend together. If you've never been there, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out. That's all I'm saying. If you're a wrestling fan, you definitely want to take part in this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. It is. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, it's an absolute blast, top to bottom. Every event, so many different wrestlers from all over the world come to Waterloo. Great time.
It's crazy because you don't see things like these convention style things in Iowa very often, and this is one of the big ones of the weekend, and it's so fan accessible. You get an opportunity to meet all the legends, you get an opportunity to meet all the wrestlers, and that's what I love about the weekend. Everybody stays in a hotel right across the street from the Five Sullivan Brothers. A couple blocks away is the Dan Gable Museum. It's all within walking distance, and you never know if you're going to ride the elevator with one of the wrestlers from the show or one of the legends. So that's what I love also about the weekend. Yeah,
for sure. It's definitely cool. You know, like you said, you know, last year at the Hall of Fame, I ended up in the elevator with Nikita Koloff, going down to breakfast. I mean, that's pretty cool because I love the Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff Best of 7 series from the NWA years ago. So it's like, man, that's Nikita Koloff in the same building, headed down to breakfast. I mean, yeah, fun times.
That's one thing that I love. Like last year, I remember too. It's like I walk in to check in, and checking in right in front of me there is Wes Briscoe, and had a nice chat with Wes Briscoe, and get into elevator stories. I think later on during the day, we ended up riding down the elevator with the Revival. I mean, it's one of those things where you just never know who you're going to run into while you're over there, which is what makes it such an enjoyable thing, and it's great to see how accessible everybody is.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Waterloo's such a great wrestling town, so it's really cool to see that, they're preserving that history, still today, amateur and pro, and, with the MMA wing as well. So, I mean, it's really, the museum is neat. It's just, yeah, you guys already touched on all of it. I mean, it's a blast.
Now let's get to your big matchup on Friday night against Brian Blair. It's a special matchup because Brian has announced that it will be his retirement matchup. What for you does that mean going into this, knowing that it is, one of the best tag teams that's ever graced the wrestling industry, the Killer Bees, and Brian Blair is now getting ready to hang it up, and you're going to have his last match?
It's a huge honor, and I'm very, very nervous to wrestle against him. Just because I have a lot of respect for him. He's helped me a lot in my wrestling career. And really I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. So it's I've never ever wrestled against him. I've teamed with him before, and I believe it was 2015. I did a 6-man tag, myself and Ugly, and beat Brian Blair against Matty Sparrow and Aaron Von Baron. But I've never gone one-on-one against Brian Blair. So, I don't know what to expect. I mean, like you said, he's a phenomenal, definitely a Hall of Fame career that he's had. So I'm very nervous. I'm very honored. And I'm just very, very excited to get in there and wrestle him. It's a huge thrill for me. So I'm going to do the best that I can.
And the one thing that I think people might look past with Brian Blair is he still has over the years kept himself in fabulous shape. I mean, it's not like he's, one of these guys who just kind of let his career kind of dwindle away, but he is actually staying in just phenomenal shape.
Yeah, he has. I thought that last year, when he went out in the Battle Royal, I'm like, man, Brian Blair is in great shape. I said, he hasn't lost a step, I mean, and he's wrestled a long time, wrestled Japan, WWF, you name it. He's been everywhere. And I thought, yeah, Brian Blair, he's still getting after it, and he's still working hard. So it's pushed me to work hard too. I know he's going to come into Waterloo prepared. And, if you've checked out the Twitter lately, he said he's not coming to Waterloo to lose. He tweeted that at me. So, I got my hands full, and it's going to be a tough match.
Let's don't forget too, legendary referee James Beard is going to be the referee of that retirement match as well.
Yeah, and that's another huge honor to have him in the match. For those of you that don't know who James Beard is, he refereed in World Class Championship Wrestling over in Japan for years. He refereed in the Global Wrestling Federation, the USWA. He's refereed for WWE many times. So, to be in there with two great legends, it's very, very humbling, and it's a huge honor to even get to walk out there among those two.
Absolutely. And, looking ahead to the rest of the part of the show, are there any other matches that you're extremely excited about seeing that are on the show? Because every year it's just an absolutely jam-packed show, and this year is no different. Is there anything besides the one that you're involved in that you're extremely excited about?
Yes, absolutely. Ultimo Dragon versus Maddie Starr.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see that match. You know, Maddie Starr and I have had our differences in the past. You know, we've been rivals, you know, against each other, you know, many, many times. But he is an absolutely phenomenal wrestling talent. And I think Maddie Starr versus Ultimo Dragon in Waterloo, it's going to be crazy because those guys can both go. And then another match I'm really looking forward to is Miss Frankie J versus Victoria. So I know that one will be crazy as well. I mean, that'll be another match I'm looking forward to seeing. And then another match as well, I'm looking forward to the Big Picture versus the hometown boy, the Golden Boy, Bryce Jordan, for the Impact Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. So there's a few matches I'm pretty excited to see.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a fun weekend. James, for anyone that is going for the first time, that is, you know, just doesn't know what to expect, what would you tell them heading into the weekend if it is their first weekend?
I would say just take it all in. And if you're a wrestling fan and you're on the fence about going, I would definitely go because of the experience we've talked about previously. There's a lot of fan interaction with the wrestling events, with the Hall of Fame inductions. If it's your first year and it's going to be a great one, just take it all in and enjoy yourself, because I guarantee if you come once, I think you will come back. Yeah. Or I shouldn't say I think. I know you will come back because it's a good time, and I think it's a weekend that you can just get caught up in, and it's a great time to meet a lot of, you know, wrestling's past, present, and future.
James, I got a question I want to ask you. Out of all of your moments at the Hall of Fame weekend, tagging with Davey Boy Smith Jr., winning the IPW title, what is your biggest moment of the Hall of Fame weekend for you as a wrestler?
Winning the IPW title from Justin Decent in the steel cage in 2016, being managed by J.J. Dillon. You know, that one, it was such a special moment for me, and it was so cool to see all the support. I mean, just when I was walking out around for intermission, you know, saying hello to fans, you know, they're just wishing me luck and saying, go get them, go win that title. I mean, that was the absolute. I've had a lot of really fun moments at Hall of Fame, you know, don't get me wrong, but 2016 against Justin Decent in the steel cage with J.J. Dillon, that has been the biggest moment of my Hall of Fame career and the biggest moment of my wrestling career. It's something that was very, very special to me. And you guys are a big part of that too, you know, because you guys have always supported me, and, you know, it's been an honor to get to know you through the weekend. And so yeah, that would be my favorite moment.
That was such a fun night. It doesn't feel like it was just back in 2016, honestly, but man, it was such a fun night with a lot of emotion there to it. Now, for fans that are looking to see more of James Jeffries here before the Hall of Fame, why don't you talk about your upcoming schedule? Because Impact Pro Wrestling, like we said, starting this weekend, has quite a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, yes, we kind of kick it off this Saturday in Algona, 7 p.m. at the Locker Room. If you haven't been to Algona, to the Locker Room, it's a great wrestling venue. They got food there. It's a great time to grab some food and watch some pro wrestling. A really cool venue to watch wrestling in. And then we get right after it on Monday night. We go to Knoxville to wrestle at 7 p.m. at the fairgrounds. Tuesday, you guys talked about it. It's the Hall of Fame Classic qualifying tournament in Des Moines at Fort Hay. So that'll be another really fun event. I believe we go to West Liberty on Wednesday night for Impact Pro Wrestling at the fair there in town. And then we are going to Winterset, Iowa on Thursday through Sunday. Shows at 1, 3, and 5. And then, let's see, after Sunday, I believe we go to Iowa City, Iowa for another event there. And then, from there.
Columbus Junction?
From Columbus Junction, yep. Go to Columbus Junction for another wrestling event, 7 p.m. You know, we're hitting a lot of county fairs. So, and then there's one on Wednesday as well, right before Hall of Fame.
Is that the Humboldt show?
Yes.
Yeah. That's fair there.
No, that's Thursday, I think. Humboldt.
Yeah. I'm missing one of my. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, the 25th.
Yep, the Humboldt County Fair. There's a lot of county fairs, so it's definitely hard to keep track of them. I mean, if you want to check out Impact Pro Wrestling or see James Jeffries wrestle, there's a lot of opportunities coming up in Central Iowa, Northwest Iowa, North or Southeast Iowa to check us out. So if you're in the area, definitely come check us out. There's a lot of fun events coming up.
Oh, one other thing. Exactly.
Go ahead, Zach.
One other thing I want to ask you a little bit about is you guys have been working on the YouTube TV series. I know it took a little break on that, trying to get things good, but so far I've enjoyed what I've seen. How's that been working on that, and how's that going?
It's been really cool. Working on the YouTube series. If you get a chance, check us out on YouTube at Impact Pro Wrestling. We film shows on every other Thursday at the Vault. I believe starting July 22nd, we're going to start back up. I believe that's on the schedule. So, and you can look on our Impact Pro Wrestling page on Facebook. But the YouTube shows have been fun. It's been, we have a live audience there at the Vault, which is our Impact Pro Wrestling Training Center. And, there's been a lot of fun matches. So, it's been definitely a lot of fun and a new experience. So.
Definitely. We've, like Zach said, we've really enjoyed what we've seen so far and can't wait to see it all, back up and running again. Now, like James just mentioned, you guys, if you want to see Impact Pro Wrestling, there's a ton of events. Head over to their Facebook page, Impact Pro Wrestling, and get all the more info on that. Now, James, before we let you out of here this evening, where can people follow you at on all your social media accounts so they can stay in touch with you?
You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealJDouble. That's my Twitter handle. You can follow me on Facebook, James Jeffries. I post a lot of my upcoming events and different matches I'm going to be having on there. And I believe that's all for the social media. So and you can follow Impact Pro Wrestling on Facebook as well. So.
And James, in closing, final words for B. Brian Blair in your up-and-coming match with him and James Beard as referee and Hall of Fame weekend.
Well, B. Brian Blair, final words. On Twitter he said, James Jeffries, grab your best hold because I'm not coming to Waterloo to lose. Well, B. Brian Blair, James Jeffries isn't coming to Waterloo to lose. It's been very special for me to wrestle in Waterloo over the years, and it's going to be great to bring 1 million people behind me in Waterloo to face you, Killer B. Brian Blair. I'm honored to get in the ring with you, with James Beard as a special referee, B. Brian Blair, I'm coming to take you on, and I'm not coming to lose. I'm coming to survive in Waterloo, and I cannot wait to go one-on-one with you in your retirement match. B. Brian Blair, James Jeffries is coming for you, brother.
There you heard it, guys. James Jeffries is ready. James, thank you for joining us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks at Waterloo, Iowa.